Hello everyone, just me again. If you heard the music in the background was Little Mix. Yes, I like all types of music. Um, I am doing another video because I didn't get everything out that I wanted to. First off, this is a big shout out to a few of my friends, Now, Zane, and Greg. Greg, I hate to say this, but I like my coffee like I like my men. Hot, British, and sweet. And that has to be the best. I want to talk to you all about a few things that have been touching me. Yes, it's true, I am gay. But I was molested as a child by someone that I thought I could trust. People think my first lover, Mark, was the one who molested me. No, I met Mark when I was 7 years old. I was being molested from the age of 6. Mark was 10 years old when I met him. Him and I were the best of friends. I do not regret the time that Mark and I had together. At the age of 12, I did something a lot of people probably don't know about me. I used to do drugs. And like this song says, no matter what you say, it won't hurt me because nothing's going to bring me down anymore. Yes, I regret doing drugs. At the age of 12, I started, and I was doing it to help me study for tests, and then it turned out I was doing it all the time. It wasn't the best thing that I could have done. It was the most stupid thing in the world. Mark never touched drugs until I got him started. And at the time, we were doing crystal methamphetamine. Worst drug to ever start. Then I started to drop acid. A little tablet went a long ways, and the roller coaster rides were something I don't wish anyone to try. Then I did mushrooms. Basically, I have done every drug out there. I was working in New Orleans at a bookstore, and to really be able to pay the rent and everything, Mark was working in a bar, and I got a job in the bar, and I was 15 at the time. I worked there until I was 18. Then I worked in a restaurant, slinging hash. Things really took a turn there. When I left the bar, I lost a lot of money. Well, it took a toll on Mark, and Mark ended up getting fired from the bar. I ended up having to go back to the bar to work again while working at the restaurant and the bookstore. I was holding down 3 jobs. I would work at the bar, then the restaurant, then the bookstore, all in one day. So I was dropping crystal meth and every drug I could. I ended up going to work April 4th of 1990. I got a call saying Mark was face down in a gutter with a needle in his arm. I went to where he was because it was only a couple blocks away, and I held him until the ambulance got there. He was taken to the hospital and brought back. I knew things weren't going to last long, so I made a vow that day that I was going to quit doing drugs. On August 13th of 1990, Mark died of a drug overdose. Well, died from complications due to the overdose. And he died while he was sleeping. I woke up and tried to wake him up. At the time of his death, he only weighed 85 pounds. I got up, took my shower, made him breakfast, went in to take it to him, tried to wake him up, and I ended up calling his adopted mom, and I said, "Mama LeBranch, something's wrong with Mark. He's not waking up." And she said, "Honey, I'm on my way over. Get off the phone and dial 911. I did. As the paramedics were in there, they called for the coroner. And I was fighting with them left and right because they weren't taking Mark out. They were telling me, they were going to tell me what was wrong with him. I didn't know he had passed away. In bed next to me. When I found out, my world fell apart. I had spent so many years with him. 13 years of my life was spent around Mark. He was my first true love. And I look back at that time and I realized that I should have worked harder at trying to get him to stop. I do admit to myself that I had put myself through hell thinking I caused his death. No, drugs caused his death. I introduced him to drugs, but I didn't twist his arm to do the drugs. I wish I could go back in time and stop him from doing drugs, but that'll never happen. April 4th of 2014 will be 24 years that I have been off drugs. And I told someone that it's the longest that I have stuck to one thing. Drugs can screw up your life. You think you're high and mighty, like you have no care in the world. It's not that you don't have a care in the world, it's the drugs telling you that you're in complete control of your actions, of your life, when in all actuality, you're not in control of shit. The drugs are controlling you. You're not controlling the drugs. I am so proud to be off drugs. Like I said, I don't wish this on anyone. A lot of my problems that I'm going through, yeah, they could have been caused by drugs. But I can't say for sure. Because I don't know how much of them were drugs and how much of the problems were because of me. After Mark died, I had a chance of moving back in with family. I chose not to. Because I felt I made him suffer, I needed to suffer. So I lived on the streets. I know what homeless missions are like. I've been there. I slept in them. I slept on many a park bench. If God didn't want me to do that, He wouldn't have put me in those places. I keep telling everyone that if you want to do drugs, don't talk to me. Because I don't do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to get back in that life. Because when I was doing drugs, I was selling everything I owned to try to get my next fix. That's the thing with drugs. Once you start, it's hard to stop. I was lucky that when Mark was in the hospital on April 4th, his mom took me to my first NA meeting. NA, for those who don't know, is Narcotics Anonymous. The first time I went, I was so ashamed of myself that I was in a place like that. Because I always thought, okay, Narcotics Anonymous, that's where you go to do drugs and don't tell people your name. Okay, fine, I couldn't handle that. No. That's where you go and you find out what others have went through doing drugs. And I'm here to tell you some of the stories I heard were enough to make me look back and say, damn, I actually did that. I was actually that bad. Well, now I look around and I can count on many things in my life. I can't just say one or two things. It was my friends, and the grace of God that pulled me through the drugs. So if you're sitting there thinking to yourself, oh, I'm listening to you, but I'm going to light this pipe, or let me inject this into my arm while I'm listening to you, go ahead. Be like Mark. End up face down in a gutter with a needle sticking out of your arm. Because I'm here to tell you, drugs are not a joke. They will kill you. I'm just glad I was able to stop myself before I killed myself. You've heard the saying, check yourself before you wreck yourself. That's what I'm saying. If you know someone who does drugs, maybe you should have them watch this video, because I'm not doing these for my own good. I'm hoping somewhere's out there I'm able to help someone else. People say, oh, well, let's do this, or let's do some medical marijuana. I can see it helping people who need it. But to go out and get a medical marijuana card because it gives you the legal right to smoke marijuana, I disagree with that. I don't think that should ever happen. I know many people who think, okay, let's legalize marijuana. Fine, legalize it. But what's that gonna stop? You're still gonna have some other drug addict out there saying, okay, marijuana was legalized. Let's legalize crystal methamphetamine. Let's legalize crack cocaine. Let's legalize this drug, that drug, this drug, that drug. You start legalizing a drug, you need to legalize all of them. You're just telling the government, yeah, let's go ahead and legalize it, and it'll help us. Yeah, it'll help. It'll help you right into an early grave. I know. I went through it. I used to smoke marijuana. I don't do that anymore. I used to do crystal methamphetamine. I used to do acid. I used to do crack cocaine, crank, uppers, downers, in-betweeners, Snow White, Sleeping Beauties. All the drugs are just that, drugs. I look forward to celebrating my 24th year of sobriety, because at least I know I did something that was positive, and no one can take my sobriety away from me. Without my sobriety, I wouldn't have all my Disney, I wouldn't have all my movies, I wouldn't have my cats, or even this place to stay. I would be out there on the street looking for someone who sold just so I could get my fix. I don't need that. What I need is just what I have. Loving friends around me who care enough to check in with me and say, how you doing today? Is there anything that you need? Are you doing okay? Many times I see people who have no one. Yeah, Facebook is a lovely thing to have, especially when you're disabled, because there's always someone on there to talk to. But people don't realize that if you just talk to one person a day in a cheering, supportive manner, you're helping others. You're taking yourself out of yourself to make sure someone else is okay. And that is what I need to do, and that's why I'm doing these videos, is because I need to take myself out of myself to help someone else. If you've seen my last video, then you know a little bit more about me. Well, this here is something that I thought needed to be brought out. I don't care how many people you're around who say drugs are cool. Drugs are not cool. I am fighting right now to quit smoking. Nicotine's a drug, but it's one of the hardest drugs to quit. So if you start smoking and you try to quit, it's going to be hard. I know. I've smoked for 30 plus years. And yeah, I regret it. For people who want to nag others about smoking, don't. Because I'm sure you do things that others think you shouldn't do. Smoking is, to some people, a stress reliever. To other people, it's a habit. It's the worst habit because it's hard to stop once you start it. I'm not judging anyone, nor do I want them to judge me. But I'm here to tell you that I am happy with myself. And this is the first time I've ever been able to truly admit that. I'm proud to be where I am. And if I help just one person, I know I did what I should. I know I did as God commanded. I don't do these to try to boast about what I have, because all of this is material things. The material doesn't matter. What should matter is your spirituality should be the most important. I don't care if you don't believe that there's a God or not. As long as you believe in something, be it that the ground's always going to be there, or that the sun's going to just shine on you whenever and wherever you go, that's still a belief in something. As a Jewish person, my belief is in God, because I know without God I wouldn't be here today. I was in the car wreck in '97. I should have been dead, but I'm still here. And you know what? I'm proud to be here. Please leave your comments below if you like this video. Tell me what else you would like to hear. Check out my other videos that I did. This here's like the third one, I think. But check out the other two. All the information should be somewhere on my channel. Like my channel. That way you'll be up to date on my videos. And I hope you all have a good day. Thank you.